Good morning, Guardians. My name is the Black Link, and we are back early on Monday morning to talk to you a bit about some Destiny 2 news. First things first, happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're all not too upset that the weekend is over and done with. Mine went by super duper fast. I was working basically all weekend. Didn't really have a chance to do anything other than work, and I'm a little sad. My whole weekend gone, and it's back to Monday already. Don't you just hate when that happens? But life is good, life goes on, and I'm still enjoying things either way. I hope you guys had yourself a fantastic weekend, and I certainly hope it was better than mine. But that's enough of that. Let's get into some Destiny 2 talk. Now, we are inching ever closer to the official unveiling of Destiny 2 DLC 2 Warmind. That is still happening on April 24th. That's when we'll be getting our first trailer. We may learn some other information here and there before then, but that's when we'll be seeing our first real look at the DLC pack. But before that, we've got some other things coming to the forefront. This week we should be learning a bit more about some of the exotic weapon changes we're going to be seeing in Update 1.2.0 next month. And of course, as seems to happen every single month of this game, we've also got yet another leak concerning Destiny 2 DLC Pack 2. Now, this came in the form of yet another instance of Gamestop putting a page up early, I'm doing air quotes while I'm saying that, and supposedly set out some story details for what's going to be happening in DLC Pack 2. Now, I'm not going to cover everything in this because honestly, these leaks happen all the time and there's really nothing to hint that this thing might be any more valid than any of the others. But I did want to talk about a couple of interesting points. It brings up the notion of Charlemagne being the Warmind that we're going to be interacting with in the next DLC rather than Rasputin. And that bit actually makes a little bit of sense because Charlemagne's had a lot of hints in Destiny 2 and throughout Destiny 1's history. We were supposed to get a sort of DLC pack with him or a raid or something with him titled Charlemagne's Vault way back in Destiny 1. And they've thrown all kinds of hints within the Arecibo adventure mission on Io and just all throughout Destiny 2, showing that Charlemagne might still be active out there in the world, out there in the frozen wastes of Mars. So while I don't really think it brings too much validity to this, again, air quote, leak, it would make sense if Charlemagne was the Warmind, if they swerved us with that, Charlemagne being the Warmind we were going up against rather than Rasputin. It also talks a bit about how Rasputin has been physically trapped in an exo body. Now, this might be a particular brand of make-believe, but it does have some grounding in the lore. If you remember back before Destiny 1 came out, originally, Rasputin was supposed to take control of an exo and then kind of interact with you throughout the story. So there's precedent for that within the Destiny 1 story, but it says that Rasputin in the form of an exo is supposed to team up with you and Anna Bray to help stop Charlemagne, who's taken control of like an army of exos or something like that. It references the area on Mars that we'll be exploring, which has basically been confirmed by that. The one and only image of Destiny DLC Pack 2 we've gotten showing off the big Warmind vault there. That's basically confirmed to be Mars. If you look in the back, you can see Deimos and Phobos, which are the moons of Mars. One of which we've actually been to, Phobos, back during the Taken King. So we definitely know the DLC is taking place on the Red Planet, although it's going to be the frozen caps of that Red Planet. This leak says it's going to be called Site 8, where you'll be taking on an army of corrupted Crypt Exo. They also talk a bit about a cooperative activity titled the Deep Stone Crypt, which you'll be ascending to. Usually you descend into crypts, and that might be the big tell that this leak right here is grounded more in fantasy than reality. But at the very least, it's an interesting notion, and I would definitely sign on to Charlemagne being a Warmind character that we'll be interacting with very soon. That's a bit of lore. That's an area of the story that I've kind of been waiting to visit since Destiny 1. And so if the Warmind we are fighting against in DLC Pack 2 is Charlemagne, I'll be very happy to see those narrative threads finally come to a head. But there we go, that's the new leak, although you probably shouldn't put too much stock into it. Like Irk says, it's built around some pre-existing info and a fair bit of make-believe. But don't you worry your pretty little head, this insufferable cycle of leak YouTube video is coming to an end very soon. We'll be getting some official information about the DLC pack in the coming weeks. Looking forward to hearing more about that, and I know you Guardians are too. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about a bit in this video is the ammo economy in Destiny 2. Let me paint a picture for you. How many times have you been out in a nightfall or in a raid or something, fighting against a boss, and you just constantly find yourself, as you go through the strike, as you go through the raid, running out of primary ammo? I know I've been there several times, to the point where it feels like there's a hidden juggler mechanic in Destiny 2. Now, juggler, of course, being the modifier from Destiny 1 that made the drop rate for ammunition matching the weapon type that you're currently using 0. You had to swap weapons in order to get your ammo back. So if you wanted energy weapon ammo, you needed to use your kinetic. If you wanted kinetic, you needed to use your energy or your heavy weapon, and vice versa. And for the longest time, it's really felt like there's some sort of hidden juggler mechanic active in Destiny 2. And this weekend we might have gotten some, well, not official from Bungie, but certainly some play-tested information that points to that conclusion. Destiny the Game subreddit user Diaryofadragonborn took it upon themselves to head into a lost sector specifically to test this out. Thank you for your sacrifice, Guardian. They basically went into a lost sector in the EDT and collected about 500 kills using each type of weapon. Of course, taking note of any ammo that dropped and its type over the course of all of those kills. And the results were actually pretty interesting. They found that when using a kinetic weapon, kinetic ammo dropped only about 26% of the time. Energy ammo dropped about 64% of the time, and power ammo dropped about 9.5% of the time. When using an energy weapon, kinetic ammo dropped 65% of the time they were getting kills. Energy ammo dropped 27% of the time, and power ammo dropped about 7.5% of the time. Finally, when using a power weapon, kinetic ammo dropped about 54% of the time, energy ammo dropped about 40% of the time, and power ammo dropped about 5.65% of the time. So, what all of this data shows is basically that when you're currently equipped with either a kinetic or energy weapon, drops for the same weapon type of ammo is only about 25%. So if you're using a kinetic weapon, you've got maybe about a 25% chance to get some kinetic weapon ammo. While the ammo drop rate for the other primary, whether it's an energy primary if you're using a kinetic weapon or a kinetic primary if you're using an energy weapon, is about 65%. So it certainly does appear that there is a mechanic that limits ammo drops in play in Destiny 2 right now. Although it's not the same as Juggler in Destiny 1. Your drop rate for ammo isn't 0%, it's just 25%, while primary weapons of a different type, so if you're using a kinetic again, energy weapon drop rates are going to be about 65%. And I found that really interesting. Of course, we haven't gotten any official confirmation from Bungie about a hidden juggler mechanic in Destiny 2. They stayed particularly mum on that issue. But based on this, limited bit of research, it certainly seems like that might be the case. Which really probably doesn't come as much of a surprise for many Guardians out there. I know you guys have probably felt it just as you're playing through the game. And it looks like if this mechanic is in place, if this sort of pseudo Destiny 2 juggler mechanic is happening to players right now on Bungie, it'd be really great if you could come out and confirm or deny whether or not this is an actual thing. It looks like the point of it is to kind of convince you, we'll say, to using different weapons. They want you to swap from your kinetic primary to your energy and back and forth and vice versa and whatnot. And it seems like they may be encouraging you to do that simply by limiting the amount of same weapon type ammo that you get. But again, this is very limited testing. It might not be a thing for everyone, but in this player's testing, they found that those were the results, and it does indeed seem like there is some sort of hidden juggler mechanic. And again, my belief is simply that it's there to encourage you to use not just your kinetic primary, but also your energy primary. And I just found all of that information super interesting. But alright Guardians, that is going to be it for this one. What are your thoughts on this down in the comment section below? Have you noticed some sort of hidden juggler mechanic within Destiny 2? Do these numbers seem to line up with your own experience? Be sure to let me know. Also, what do you think of that leak? Does a battle against the rogue Warmind Charlemagne alongside the trapped Warmind Russian buddy Rasputin sound pretty cool to you? Hey, it may be wishful thinking, but sometimes all you've got are dreams and memes. So be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. But that's it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news that's coming out. But I'm out for now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.